Alright guys, Xiaomi 365 accessories. I have several ones coming for you guys that I've recently purchased, and I'm going to show it to you. Cell phone mounts, another different cell phone mount right there, and a handlebar extension. So the first one, it's going to be this rather cheap handlebar cell phone mount. As you can see, universal holder, different mounting positions, and this is how it looks when it's mounted. What I gotta say about this one is the only thing I don't like, it's the basic construction is all plastic. There is no dampening on this side or anywhere where you're gonna put the corners of your phone. So it's a little bit, a little bit different. It has a nice sponge in the back where if you don't have a case, your phone's going to be protected. But most of you, as me, have cases, so that's not a big deal. So how it's mounted, the phone will go right here, and in the back there's adjustments, and let me show you to you real quick. And this is how the adjustment is on the back. First of all, you need to unscrew this part to kind of adjust the width and the length of the phone. And once you match it, you squeeze it back in, so the corners, all four corners, will match the corners of your phone. And then there's a little lock on the back where you gotta twist to keep it in position. Now I'm not sure how sturdy that's gonna be while you're riding with all the vibrations and rattling, and how long that's gonna last, because this construction is old plastic. But for the moment, when you put it on, it's actually pretty sturdy. The actual mount here comes with a couple of rubber, different rubber insulations. And let me show it to you real quick. So now you can see the rubber gaskets that are going between the handlebar and the actual mount. Again, the mount is all plastic, so that might be a problem over time. Plastic deteriorates, and I'm kind of suspecting that it might crack or gets loose or broken. But again, that's probably going to be over time. At the beginning, I'm not expecting any problems. So once you tight that pretty well in place, make sure it's tight so the whole mount won't move back and forward. And it's probably word of advice over time when you're riding is to check it every once in a while, because like I said, after vibrations and moving around, it might get loose, and this way you're risking your phone dropping down on the ground. So let me turn around and see how that's going to look on the actual handlebar. Alright, so now that we have it mounted, you can see what the exact position it's going to be. You still have a room for the throttle, obviously right here. You're not going to hit the phone too much. If you're careful, obviously if you have a smaller phone, the frame will be even narrower, so it will be on a problem. But even with this larger 5.7-inch phone, I don't have a problem at all. I can still push it. Same, I have access to the ring. Other thing to mention is you can actually rotate this whole phone this way. So when you put it on landscape, you have a little bit more clearance for the throttle. Your ring is kind of covered, but if you prefer that look, you can use that. Unfortunately, I don't see a way for the interface to be rotated, so that's the only way that you're gonna see the direction, so it's a little bit hard to read. So that's why I preferred to keep it this way. And one more reason is this way you have access to the power button as well, and kind of see the screen right in front of you with the speed, your remaining mileage, and everything else. You can see I already have 46.5 miles on that, riding that every day to work. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me go to the next accessory real quick. So the next one is the handlebar extension. And what's the purpose of the handlebar extension? So those of you that don't know, obviously you see how narrow the handlebars on the scooter is. So if you want to put other mounts, let's say flashlight or a camera or something else, you might have problem with the clearance or the remaining space on the handlebar, so you can mount it. So if you put that extension or some other extension on this side and kind of drop it down a little bit, you can put other accessories in the bottom. Let me show you how it looks in just a second. So the good thing about this mount is actually that the bracket, it's all metal, it's not plastic, so that's going to last longer. The actual handlebar extension is plastic with this faux carbon fiber cover on top of it, but it looks pretty sturdy. The plastic seems pretty, rigid, no problems whatsoever. The only problem I see with this one, there's no included gasket. So here, between the metal and your handlebar, obviously if you don't want to scratch your handlebar, you better put something in between. Luckily for me, I have some of that isolating sponge, kind of like what's on the back of this cell phone cover, so I can put it between this bracket and the actual handlebar, and this way I'm going to be able to mount it. So my idea is to mount it this way. It's going to hang out on the front, and here I'm going to be mounting an action camera so I can show you some riding footage with the scooter. If you put it on the top, it's going to be kind of on your way, and if you put it on this side, facing this way, it's going to hit the cell phone mount, so it's not really ideal. So I think the best is to kind of put it on the bottom of the handlebar in front of the main shaft right there. Alright, so I actually decided to mount it over the rubber of the handlebar. Provides an extra insulation. It's still plenty of room for my hands. It's not going to be on my way or on the way of the brake. At the same time, it's a little bit more off to the side, so I can put my camera right here without any problem. So feel free to experiment. If you want to put it here, you can put it on this side as well. Just keep in mind that this is thinner, so you're going to provide some cushioning between the metal and the handlebar in order for you to fit it properly and not to have it scratch. So let me move on to the other one real quick. So this is another one that I saw on Gearbest, same brand as the handlebar extension. Luckily this one comes with all the mounting you need, even the Allen wrench and the different gaskets. Let me actually open it real quick and show it to you. Also all the bolts, everything that needs to be outfitted so you can mount properly, and some even those sticky pads that you can put on the corners here where the phone will rest. And this is obviously the gasket for the mounting bracket and the handlebar. Now my only concern with this one is, as you can see mounted on my phone, is there's no anything to hold the phone on the bottom or on the top. So with vibrations, with moving around, I think the mounting screw, which is only one, see how it extends, this is how it mounts, to the handlebar. And once you put your phone in, you have to tighten it in depending on how wide your phone is, and this provides kind of a squeeze on your phone. Again, I think without having anything on the bottom or on the top, you risk your phone sliding off eventually and dropping down and getting broken, unless once you put it in. I'm gonna screw that mounting bracket. Once you put it in, and obviously don't put it over your power button like I just did. Once you put it in, you put a rubber band or something that kind of goes around, but again, that destroys the aesthetics of the mounting. I mean, it's a well done mounting bracket. It's all aluminum, good parts, good moving, all the accessories, but again, I think I will go with this one for the moment, and then give it a try to this one later on. So the last accessory I'm going to show you real quick, these are a pair of all solid tires, as you can see right in front of you. I still haven't, I haven't had a flat, but I really don't want to have one, and kind of in preparation I wanted to grab a pair of these solid tires, just in case if I get a flat. I'm just going to replace them with these right away and see how that's going to work until I repair the other ones. But from what I've heard so far, these are not that bad. Obviously, the only problem is going to be the cushioning is not that great, so it's going to be rough on your joints. And speaking of your joints, keep in mind, if you're older like me, 40 years old and older, you might have some problems with your joints if you ride it for a long time. I ride an hour a day back and forward to work, and I can feel a little bit pain because of there's not much cushioning going on. Even with the tube tires, it's not anything significant, so it might be a problem. So if you're younger, I don't think you're gonna have an issue, but just keep it in mind. But yeah, 2 tires, I grabbed these, about $30 total, so not that bad. Have to have them just in case I pop a tire or something like that. But for now, that's pretty much it, guys. We have the cell phone mounting bracket right here. I'm gonna keep an eye on my phone while I'm riding, the speed and all that stuff. But if you don't want to spend all that money, the LEDs are pretty accurate on showing what's your battery like when you're riding, so that's not a big problem. But definitely I wanted to mount an action cam to kind of show you my ride throughout the day. I think it's going to be a good experience for all of you. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to leave a link to all these accessories below the video. And until next time, guys, you have a wonderful day. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Stay tuned to the channel.